My name's Marge. I'm a Hailka. I'm an empath, and I just like to do these little talks on, well, how I feel about things. And I gather a lot of data from a lot of different places, main stage media, mainstream, main flow media, get a lot of my stuff from nature. So I'll just go off on a thinking excursion, and birds will squawk, and that tells me yeah or no, or we get a lot of data, a lot of information. It's just mostly people don't listen to themselves. Mostly people ignore and deny and neglect their inner knowing, and do all this stuff, and it takes them farther away from spirit. I'm here trying to bring people closer to spirit alignment. And I look at that the way I see it. I think in terms of pictures. When I was young, I thought they told me I was artistic, but I think they said autistic, but I don't know. I never really let people define me by their words anyway, because they never understood my heart, where I was coming from, and that takes, it's supposed to account for things, because, I thought it was supposed to mean more than it does, because my whole life I've heard things from, it's the heart that matters. It's, the thought that counts. It's all these things. And, and then I see people's face when they look at my ashtray or whatever I make, because they smoke, even though I don't like smoking, but they smoke. And if they like it, I'll make them an ashtray, So maybe they'll think about, they do it so often, maybe they'll think about me when they do it, and then when I present it to them, because this is the best I can do, because sometimes my fingers don't work the way I want them to, and sometimes I get an idea of how I want things to be, and it just doesn't match reality, and, and I present my gift, and, this is from me to you, so you can use it for something that you like, even though I hate smoking, and then you laugh at me because it's wonky and it's not right. And I tried to be so careful and it didn't work. It's that heart space. My heart space was genuine, and, it's the mean people that ruin things. And right now, there's so much stuff going on in the world. The astrology is, well, it's freaking proven itself to be true, man. All I like to hear, dude, is like to match, like, explain some astrology in basic terms, because I'm not an astrologer. I know a lot about it, more than average, but I'm not going to spend all my time of it, because there's so many different teachings and variances. And there's too much other stuff that I'm interested in. So, but the astrology and how it's playing out, people want justice. People are socially unrest. They want to feel safe. They're tired of it, and they're putting themselves in harm's ways to prove their points. Case in point, freaking Hong Kong, people are, this happened in Tiananmen Square in China, when the young man put himself in front of, because they don't want war. People don't, that's what you guys, the people that are in control, they're freaking out because people don't want war anymore. They want peace and quiet. So you inflating the idea of war by, let's put tanks in our parades, so glorifying killing people there's no place for it in this vibrational frequency that the planet is raising to. So you guys bring your freaking tanks out, and then you're gonna have your protesters, because people don't freaking want war anymore. They're tired of killing. They're tired of learning a new way to practice and to engage with their loved ones that have gone off to war, that have been severely broken and damaged because the stuff that they did. There's people over there, that did stuff, and it's all fun and games, and I heard there's a storyline on Orange is the New Black, and there's a lot of truth said in dialogue of storylines, there's a lot of truth said, because all stories on TV are thoughts that people have had, and thoughts that people have had are thoughts or actions that people have taken, whether they're based on true events or, And then plus you have the copycats, so then they just reinvent itself. It's a vibrational frequency of what like attracts like, you know. So the astrology right now is freaking having everybody in there. It's like charging the feminine side of their vibrational field, because we're all masculine and feminine, and the imbalance in people is when there's too much masculine or too much feminine. That's where the trouble starts to come. When there's too much, when somebody is too loving and too kind, they're enabling. That's detrimental. When somebody is too hateful and too controlling, that's detrimental. That's the masculine stuff. That's detrimental. When there's too much, that's why it's so important to keep your energy fields balanced, to keep the balance of the masculine and feminine. And right now the feminine is like, on the 15th, Rashi just did her report, on the 15th, Venus is about to go into hiding for a few months, because right now she's a evening star. She's about to go into hiding, become a morning star again. I could have swapped that back. That could be a vice versa, but I think that's right. So all this feminine stuff is waking up, and for people that aren't comfortable with feeling emotions, that vibrational frequency of vulnerability, if you are versed with stuffing that and ignoring it and denying it, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. So all the coping mechanisms that have served you before aren't going to work. My experience with that try freaking drinking do you ever drink yourself sober? That's an interesting experience. When you drink all day long, then all of a sudden you come into a realization, that it doesn't work. Yeah, that ruins stuff. That wrecks your buzz. That's a buzzkill for sure. So a lot of the astrology people, they're just like, I can't live if I can't live this way. I can't continue living this way. So people, their astrology is waking up, and and people are getting their burning bushes. People all over the place are getting their burning bushes. This started in 2012 when the calendar of time ended, and then people are like, all right, just stop. We're always given reminders, just be good to each other. I mean, we have the golden rule, just be kind and loving, don't be selfish, don't be, they have the 10 commandments, all these different religions have all these different ways of just like, the better you are to others, the more it frees you up. It raises you, makes you feel good, puts you in a different octave. If you want to go into the musical route, it raises you in color and frequency. That's why the light is white, because that's all shades of the color spectrum that come together and make this color wheel that we're all just a part of. Whether we're a good example in this world or a bad example, it's an interpretation of the beholder. You know what I mean? So I'm running out of shows to watch. I get a lot of like little Easter eggs from TV shows that I watch, and oh no, I don't want to start that one yet. I'm going to end up on that. But a lot of the unrest that's happening in the world, as I see it, this is my interpretation, is that people are wanting to be kind and loving, but they don't know how. That's one of the biggest challenges that I've learned in my whole entire life, is just to put my emotions aside. My emotions, because a lot of times being an empath, a lot of my dissidence in life is because I don't know how to handle other people's emotions, because I can feel when people don't like me. It hurts my feelings. But I got to act like I don't know how they feel about me, right? Because it might make them uncomfortable. And then it was like, Marge, handle your own emotions. Let them handle their own emotions. Let them if people want to take offense, it's all theirs to take. Let them take the offense if they want to, the reason why I have boundaries now is because my whole life I never had any. So yeah, I'm going to have boundaries, and people are going to be like, you're a bitch. Yeah, I'm a bitch with boundaries. Okay, whatever. I'm not a doormat. Would you rather I be a doormat? Okay, would that make you happy? Would you be my friend if I was a doormat? I did that once. paid. I was like 6th grade. 6th grade was a hard year for me. Went to 4 different schools. Started out in one for 7 weeks. Didn't go to school. We were in between addresses, living out of our car. 6th year was hard for me. I don't need to tell that story today. Anyway, I already told it in other videos. But with the people that are balanced, we're just kind of watching the world play out. Because some of us spend a lot of time on our spiritual practice. We've been made to go quiet for a lot longer. Had the 3D world stripped away from us, so we have the opportunity to see the world as an all things possible universe, and recognize that what's playing out in people's realities are fears that they have within themselves. And the more they start right now, the more you think about all the stuff that you're afraid of, it's gonna happen. I did it myself. I've tested and tried this theory. That's why I'm trying to keep all freaking negative thoughts out of my head. And freaking my mom's in freaking bad. Her astrology, she is bad and angry and indignant, and she gets her mind thoughts, and there's nothing I can do. I can't get her out of them. I just have to let the freaking planets transition the way they're gonna, and move around and settle back into where she feels comfortable again. And I just offer her food every hour or so. When she doesn't want to eat, okay, well, when she's hungry, and then I'll make her something to eat. Just love them through it. Love them while we got them. Just a lot of people are uncomfortable right now, and they don't follow their astrology. They don't know, and that's what I'm like begging people, freaking know your chart, dude. This stuff will make more sense if people know their chart and they choose not to, and then they freaking act out. And that's what's going to happen right now. There's going to be so many burnt bridges right now because people are cutting away stuff that doesn't serve them. But the thing is because there's such a disconnect between their emotional and spiritual bodies that they're going to do it unbeknownst to them. So they're going to it's just going to be a hot and heavy freaking holiday weekend. That's for sure. People are going to see people how they really are, good or bad. It's a two-way street. It's not just like, seeing someone as, oh God, they're really, not as really wonderful as I thought. It goes the other way too. It goes the way of, oh man, they're a really cool person. I didn't see him that way. It's all spectrums. It's not just, a negative or positive things. That's why I don't like to hang on to any outcome, because we make things happen. Feeling all this feminine there in their feelids, feeling all of this feminine in their feels, even if they don't want to. And it's acting out. And so when people have all this rest, they're going out and they're supporting whatever they endorse, whatever that means to them, and whatever they choose to look at, is going to add to their cause or kind of deflate it. But I believe that people change. I do. I believe that people change for the best. I always have. I have to. What's the point of living if you just think things are going to get worse and worse? I recently this morning I started watching Veronica Mars, and that started in 2003. It was not on my scope, in 2004. I said 2003. It started in 2004, and I was like, into my self-will one riot with the karmic and just doing other stuff. But I just think it's interesting. It takes place in the city called Neptune, and it's Veronica Mars, all these. And I bet if I'm going to play it close to the storyline, I bet it's very similar to astrology storylines. And that's what a lot of these astrology storylines, these planets, they're stories that have played out in history, and they just return their course, and they bring up stuff in us that's already happened. We have our free choice of how we want to act, on how we want to choose to interpret the interpretation of the information we see. Doom and gloom is in the eye of the beholder. Love and light is in the eye of the beholder. I know it all exists. I do my videos as a video library for Miss Sabrina's and a video library account, you know, in case my memory starts to fade. Can have an account of a lot of things that have happened in my life. And a couple of people that I've said things to, things I've said have helped, and I got to be consistent with that because I don't know what words I say can help who. So I just keep yammering on. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.